Now, we kind of talked about the pre-wedding celebration with Rihanna there, and I forgot who else performed. And now the actual wedding is here. And this has just been just more and more on steroids, right? This is just probably the most biggest lavish wedding we will ever see. Maybe not ever, right? He'll probably have kids and then there'll just be a new layer of having weddings where you can have even more celebrities, even more events, even, a bigger country. I don't know. I don't know how this scales up from here, but I'm sure it can. And notable people that arrived that, people are kind of just talking about: Justin Bieber, John Cena, which that's pretty fun. The Kardashians, Beckham's, everyone was there. And this is what happens when you get to a certain stratosphere of money. You can do whatever. You can invite whoever. You can play with whoever. It's just that fun. When you have $1 billion and you're throwing a wedding for, I think it was $325 million, you can bring in whoever. You're quite literally just throwing money at people. And who says no? Oh, I can go to quite literally the biggest wedding of all time. Why not? I can wear this designer. I can wear this. They're going to give me that for free. They're going to take care of me. They're going to drive me here and here with security everywhere. Why not? Now, the pros and cons of the grandness of this wedding. One, it becomes much more normalized and it makes Indian people more cool. It is what it is. 100%. It's 100% true. Nothing I said in this podcast is a lie. It has made it much more normal, right? You see it on your feed. You see, oh, wow, this is what they do. This is how grand it is. All these people are participating. This is so cool. This is so neat. This is what they wear. This is what they do. Oh, there's an elephant. There's a horse. Now, all of these things, let's say 15 years ago, were joking material. If anyone saw this stuff, they could flame your ass up for it. For a good reason. It is what it is. It's not normal to them, right? So then they can make fun of it. This is where jokes come from. More than, you're doing something that's not normal. So the adoption of the culture has become much more widespread than I thought it would ever be. Where the Kardashians are participating. Justin Bieber's at this thing. Now that, I think we obviously knew John Cena would eventually make his way there. But this is the coolest part of it, where it's just normalized. Now, the bad piece of it is this. As someone that is currently in the midst of planning a wedding, and you start wrapping your head around, oh my gosh. Now, I've been to a lot of Indian weddings. I know how much couples have spent, and I feel for them. I understand it's not, the most easiest of things. I understand a lot of times the parents cover it. Probably most of the time the parents cover it, because more than likely at the time you're getting married, you don't have the cash to cover said event. And also, I think the majority of people that attend these weddings are your parents' people, not really your people. So, I kind of get the balance. But in the midst of all this wedding planning, and you start talking about a wedding planner, a decorator, a DJ, this caterer, this venue, this hall, and each thing you think of, put $10,000 on it. Oh, that's 10,000. That's 10,000. That's 10,000. That's 10,000. And eventually you get to $100,000, $200,000, maybe $300,000 wedding. On average. This is on average, right? Obviously, people go higher, people go lower. The people that go lower probably just did, a small little COVID wedding. Props to them. Awesome. Great for you. I'm sure you don't regret it. But as I've been wrapping my head around this, the idea of when did this get so out of hand comes into mind. I don't know if I talked about it on here, but the weddings used to be in a mandir. It used to be in a temple. You didn't have to do all this decorating. You didn't have to do all this food stuff, because that would just come through the temple. All you have to do is get your nice outfits, invite all these people. They show up here, and then you have a wedding. Fun, awesome, cool. You're also meeting a lot more people than you ever have in your life. My parents didn't have this big group of college friends that I do. And my group isn't that big, right? Isha has a much larger group than I. But the group is relatively much larger than what my parents had. Now you add on, I have a sibling that also has her own college group of friends. My brother-in-law, his own college group of friends. And I want all of them to be at the celebration, right? These are people that I've spent so many years with now. And it's a fun time. I want them there. But at the same time, it's like, at what cost? At what cost? When Isha and I first started dating, this is gonna be a little funny to most of y'all. We thought, you know what? When we get married as two younger siblings, we're gonna have maybe a 150-person wedding, and we'll be able to pull it off for $30,000. And we were idiots. We were absolute morons, bro. And this is what just happens where I think a lot of people approach their wedding like this, where it's like, you know what? I'm going to be different. I'm going to be different. I'm going to keep my wings this wide and try to accomplish all this differently. And then eventually you start getting this reality check slowly and slowly until you're back in that box. You're back in that box where people that haven't been married yet, they're like, oh, you should have done it like this. You could have done this. You could have saved money here. You can't. All roads lead to the same destination at some point. So with this Ambani wedding, tying it all the way back, where this is going to become a new normalcy, the grandness of it. Oh, you should have pre-wedding events now. You should have these people. You know, if why have 300 people when you can have 600? You should invite this whole family and also invite this whole family. And this grandness of it is just becoming more and more. Now going into the outfits piece of it. Now that now that celebrities have adopted to wear these items. Let's say I'm a designer. I'm designer X. And I made this dress, and I used to have this clothing line that people were able to get an outfit for $300 for. You can get your wedding outfit from me for $300. I happen to have Kim Kardashian wear my dress at this Ambani wedding. What do you think is going to happen to my line of dresses for $300? That's going to skyrocket immediately. All of those are going to double in cost. Now, I'm using $300 to be conservative here, but that's what's happening. Now, so I love the adoption. You know, oh my gosh, this is becoming such a global phenomenon. Wow, we are known as the people that have the grandest, most illustrious weddings. But it also cripples us so heavily. It's crazy. It's insane. And this isn't going to be able to continue. The spending habits of our parents were a certain way because they knew that this wedding was coming, right? They saved up to have this wedding. Now we're in this boat. We don't save like that. We buy cameras and lights and laptops and microphones, and we like to start podcasts. We're having kids at a later age. We're saving till a later age. And it's just, it's like when you know it's heading in a strange direction. It's a strange direction. I'm sure everything will be fine, right? Woo, I'm sure everything will be fine. But these are just some of my observations on the wedding overall, kind of the trend of what's happening and where things are going. But shout out to the Ambani family. I appreciate y'all for making us look as dope as we are.